good morning, everyone. Bonjour, salut, coucou. And I welcome you to this webinar. A very warm good morning to everyone. I know it's a bit cold. If you are there in Delhi, it's a bit cold today. I'm Suchita, your French language instructor. And I am ready today with this webinar, which I'm going to take. And I'm going to assure you that you are going to learn a lot today. Okay, so the topic of the webinar is everything about French. I hope everybody can see my mind map now. Okay, so number one topic is we are going to see who all are presently learning French in India, in what all sectors it is being taught. Okay, so let's begin with number one, which is school students. Okay, when your child goes to school, now these days, there are so many boards which are available in different types of schools, like I would show you. So you have got CBSE curriculum, you have got IGCSE curriculum, then you have ICSE curriculum, you have got international board, which is IB. So in each board, you have your child can learn a foreign language. Now in a certain grade, like for example, that depends from board to board. Just a second. Wait. Yeah, so that depends from board to board. Like let's say in CBSE curriculum, they generally introduce a foreign language in class 4 in some schools they are in grade 3 also, but generally they introduce in grade 4 or grade 5. A foreign language your child has to opt. That can be Chinese, that can be French, that can be German, that can be any language, depending from school to school and depending from curriculum to curriculum. Okay. In international board, they start really early. So this is number one, that in school students, in schools, language is being taught as a third language. Number two is college students. Now here, see, in college, you pursue various different types of degrees in universities, like hotel management, like law, LLB. Then another thing is fashion designing, even in interior designing. Then these are certain fields where French language is taught as an additional language, where they consider that you should know French, at least the basic part of it. Yeah. Then another thing is that BA and MA in French. Now, what is BA? BA is Bachelor in Arts. If you want to have a specialized degree in French, you can opt for doing your graduation in French. There also it is being taught. And if you have done already your graduation, then you can opt for a higher degree, which is the Masters in French. Masters in Arts, but in French language. Now, this is something which is different. So see, BA honors in French is one thing. And if you are doing already an honors degree in something else, like for example, I would give my example. When after my 12th grade, I went to university, I was doing my computer science honors. So that was my honors degree. Now it is a rule in universities, in Indian universities I'm talking, that you cannot opt for two honors degree. You cannot do two honors degree together. So for them, there is another option which has come up in the universities, that is you can learn it as an additional language. So that is again a 3-year program, exactly same as BA in French, BA honors in French. But since you cannot do two honors degrees side by side, then you can opt for this program. So the first one is certificate course in French. That is first year. Second year is diploma in French. And the third year is known as advanced diploma in French. So after doing these 3 years separately, what happens? You become eligible if you want to take French as as your main language in masters. If you want to opt for masters in French, then you need to have any of the two things. One is either you do your BA honors in French, or if you are already doing honors degree in some other course, in some other field, then you can do these three years separately, which makes you eligible for doing MA in French, which was my case. Like I did my honors degree in computer science. So I did these 3 years separately. And after doing this, I became eligible for my master's. I got to know that I'm really interested in pursuing my studies in French language. So I did my master's. Now, number 3 is people who are aiming to settle in France. Okay. This is a common myth that people in France, they know English. They do not know. Okay. So if in your head you are thinking that, okay, tomorrow I want to settle in France, that is another group of people who want to and who should learn French. If you're aiming for immigrating to France, if you're thinking to have a resident card in France, if you are aiming to settle over there, so that is another group of people who want to learn French and who are currently learning French right now in India. Number 4 is, if you are aiming to settle in Canada. Why have I made it a separate thing? Because Canada is so big. And in Canada, there are certain provinces like Montreal, like Quebec. There are certain provinces where French is the official language. And not only in Canada, there are so many other Francophone countries, to name a few, like, for example, Luxembourg, for example, Algeria, for example, Africa. You would be surprised to know Africa is such a big continent. And in Africa, 31 countries, French is the official language. That means people do not know English over there much. So that is, widely spoken language in Africa. Apart from that, there are so many other countries like Mali, like Switzerland. There are so many other countries where French is the official language. So if you are thinking to settle over there, then, you should learn French. Another thing, working professionals who go for on-site work in French-speaking countries. Here, I would give you an example. Let's say you are working in an IT industry. You are working in HCL, you're working in Wipro, you're working in Dell, any IT industry. Then what do is they send their employees for on-site work to other countries. And let's say if it is a French-speaking country, being an employee, you do not know French, but they are the ones who come to us who say that we have a project in so-and-so country, which is a French-speaking country. So therefore, we want to learn French. So that is one example that I give you for IT industry. There are so many other fields, like, for example, journalism. Journalists, they travel all over the world. They also, the companies, they send their people, their employees for on-site to work over there. So that is number 5, the people who are learning presently French in India. Okay. Now, number 6 is people who want to become a language coach, like me. Okay. Now, language coach has different fields. We'll look later. What are the different fields? Like, for example, you can teach in a school, you can teach in a university, you can teach free as a freelancer, you can also do a corporate training. There are different fields, but if you want to become a language coach, you have to learn French language. Okay. Number 7 is that people who want to work as a translator, who want to work as an interpreter. Now, translator is someone who translates the written documents. That can be legal documents. That can be documents in, a medical field. So there are different fields in which they require translators. So if you want to become a translator, then you should know the language. If you want to become a French translator, of course. Yeah. Now, interpreter is someone who translates the verbal signs. Like, for example, there are so many foreign travelers, French travelers, I should say, who visit India. So they do not know the language. So they are in search of people who can translate the other people, their native tongue. So who know from French to English and who know from English to French. Okay. Then there are foreign embassies. In every country, you have got foreign embassies, and foreign embassies, they hire people for different posts, and they prefer people who know French language, who know a foreign language. Okay. Then if you want to become a tourist guide, people who are a tourist guide, who want to become a tourist guide, they also learn French language, because each year millions of people, they visit India for tourism purposes. So if you want to become a tourist guide, then you should know the foreign language. And trust me, they offer a very lucrative salaries. They offer very handsome salaries. Okay. Now, number 8 is the students who are aiming to go for higher education in France or in any of the foreign French language speaking countries where French is the official language. So there are students each year, they go for their post-graduation, who go for their graduation degrees over there. So if you are going to France or any French speaking country for a program which is taught in French language. So let's say I am going tomorrow for my engineering to France for my bachelor's degree, and that particular degree is taught in French language. I would not understand if I do not know the language. So if you are going for a French taught program, you should know French. So these are the different fields in which French language is currently being taught in India.